Yo, 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 what's up? This is Steven Moustaris back at you again with Shane Shertzer.
It's good.
And we are pretty fucking excited here today because it's the very last day of March and we're bringing you guys back the Relistenables.
Come on.
We're
Oh
hyped
my
about.
God.
If you guys don't know,
I'm excited.
or if you guys want to know, a heavy inspiration from Phil Simmons, the Rewatchables, clearly. But we just, instead of watching movies and whatnot, we just re-listen to some of our favorite albums and break it down and just have fun with it. And as we were talking today, it's the last day of March, March 31st of 2021. And we're like, fuck it, dude. Let's just throw a little mixtape March out there and
I like it.
Start the new freaking year and the new podcast off with one of the greatest mixtapes that I could possibly name. Honestly, if you had to ask me favorite mixtapes, this might be in the top 3 of all time. And it's a 2009 banger by Aubrey fucking Graham, aka Drake. So Far Gone, which real quick, it's his 3rd mixtape that he ever came out with. For those of you that didn't know, his first 2 mixtapes came out were Room for Improvement and Comeback Season, which I knew about Comeback Season. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not know about Room for Improvement. Okay, I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
So I definitely have to go back and listen. But dude, yeah. Before we even get this shit, let's take ourselves back to 2009.
What were we?
12 years ago.
Holy shit.
In 2009, dude, I think
High
I was
school?
a freshman. Was that freshman year?
I was gonna say.
Had to be freshman year. Oh, well, February. Yeah, dude, might have been 8th grade. February.
Damn. 8th grade, this shit drops.
Dude, I just remember the first single that I ever heard from Drake, which changed my life. For me, was Best I Ever Had. And I remember 8th grade in 2009 when that dropped. That was like the biggest song ever. I don't know if you remember it, but that thing.
It definitely reflects on my
music.
awards.
Do you remember the music video?
No.
Oh my goodness, dude. It was phenomenal. But I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, dude, I re-listening to this album, or this mixtape, I should say, which, I mean, has been considered an album just for how big it was, but it's like, dude, I'm re-listening to it, and it's nostalgic as fuck. I'm going back to 2009 for sure. In 2010, those heavy memories of the freshman, sophomore year, and just kind of sophomore year especially, kind of being that first time you can start driving and whatnot. And I mean, I guess freshman year even, Jesus, but sophomore year is really where you start driving the car alone, and you start, kind of listening to your own music. We got CDs and shit, and
don't Drake and drive,
dude. 100%, don't Drake and drive. But sadly, we had to do it today and whatnot. But dude, this was the only thing I remember finally getting on a computer, being able to download all these cool songs and stuff. And I remember because I was so obsessed with the Best I Ever Had and the Successful song that came out, that I just had to go for just get the whole thing downloaded and rip it on a CD. Because your boy used to be the king of burning CDs. Let me tell you what.
Okay.
But dude, man, there's such a nostalgic feeling listening to this album. Like,
I'm in high school.
For real, did you even listen to this in high school? Or did you hear this?
I heard like probably 4 of these songs. I would say. I heard Best I Ever Had, Successful, I think Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, and then Unstoppable, but like just like the chorus of Unstoppable.
Yeah, seriously, because I mean,
but all these other songs, I was like, I just heard for the first time today, so kind of a feeling. I get why people were like, "Damn, Drake's the man." Early on,
it's so crazy that this mixtape, like he says in multiple songs later on in his life, and it's crazy. We almost can't even talk about after this because Drake just blows the fuck up. Like, it's crazy to say that this was 12 years ago, and this was low key the start of this man. And he's just been running the game ever since. But dude, like, Jesus Christ, man. One of the cool things after we were like starting to do this and like doing the research, I picked up on some of his influences for the album and the mixtape. And actually, the number one and pretty much the only influence of it all was Kanye West 808s and Heartbreak. Wow. Which after we re-listened to it, you kind of get not the same vibes because clearly way different beats and stuff. This is a young Drake who didn't create his own beat yet and just had
just as much flame.
Early as producer 40, like he had early days of him where you just kind of like ripping samples and just put beats on, which I think is dope. But it was definitely cool to re-listen to this and do all this research and be like, holy fucking shit, man. But for real, let's get into this.
Oh my god,
let's dive in before we get too crazy about it. Right off the rip, what was some of the first first couple songs? What were the
first song? Honestly, because I like to just listen to it in order, just get feel. The first song, I feel like we say this, or we used to say this every time. Like the first song definitely gets you on track of what kind of vibe you're gonna have, and I feel like it definitely. He started off nice with the Lust for Life, and I just went on from there. Really,
Dude, yeah.
there's a lot of like, okay, it's that type of vibe type album, like an urban mixtape, whatever.
Yeah, the intro, the number one song for us is album listeners or mixtape listeners, and like breaking them down and whatnot. It's like I really like a good intro. I like it's really setting the tone. It's the first thing we hear. It's like, okay, if I want to listen to this album, the first song is gonna have to be good, or the first intro. And yeah, dude, I thought he did amazing with the first 3 songs. He comes out hot. Lust for Life, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, and Successful, like all produced by 40, which is his guy. Which for me, like, dude, those 3 songs, when I re-listened to it, I almost forgot that those 3 were the first 3.
Yeah.
And I'm like slapped in the face with
some heat.
3 beautiful songs in a row, and especially Young Drake. Like, it's crazy. Like,
he got bars.
This was and
like
this is
funny
the cool
bars
thing about
too,
listening to these things, man. Like he's like a main singer. Like you could tell he used to really. This was before he got bars. This is before he really like evolved, and it's really cool to listen back on it. And I'm actually happy we picked this for real, because dude, I'm trying to think of all, dude. Okay, so we come to the first 3 songs, amazing, and then for me, it takes a little hit in those next 2. I don't know.
Honestly, yeah, November 18th was definitely like, oh, okay. I kind of like the little switch up with Let's Call It Off. I get it was funky at first, but then it's kind of iffy to me just because he kind of switches it up and it's funky.
It's the only it's the only downfall of this mixtape, which isn't even a downfall, because you're gonna miss when you're coming up, and like he hit on so many songs.
You got 18, you gotta miss once, twice.
I started to find a pattern on this mixtape when we were doing the research on it and whatnot. And the songs that I would say that I don't like that much are all like songs that he ripped from other people that like are already songs. Like Peter Bajorn and John, who was the featured in this song, Let's Call It Off. They're the ones that they've already had this song before, and it's literally called the exact same thing. So he just kind of takes that song. It's in this album quite a bit of times, or mixtape, I should say.
A lot of samples.
Like, well, he has a tremendous amount of samples. Samples. But some of them he mixes up completely. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that, Let's Call It Off. Even Ignorant Shit, I wasn't even a big fan of. Yeah. But that's literally ripped straight from Ignorant Shit by Jay-Z and Beanie Sneagle. Like
Beanie Sneagle.
The only one I think he hit on for real that I would say, if I'm being honest, was the only one that was completely the same. He just added a verse onto their song. Was Little Bit by Likey Lee, and him was Little Bit, a little bit. It gets a nice little flow, but like I'm a big Likey Lee girl, or fan, I should say, of her. She's a boss, and
never heard of her.
But yeah, it's one thing I definitely noticed. The ones that he just kind of just said, "Hey, let me be on it, let me feature," pretty much, but it could be on my mixtape. Like that's the ones I was kind of like. I loved his part. I can't lie, but it was the songs that he picked, maybe a little bit for me. That was like,
yeah, I like it.
I don't know, dude. But then again, it's like it's hard to nitpick his album. But it's like if you had to, it's like I'm sitting here thinking like you got to pick a couple.
You missed a couple times. Sorry.
Real quick before we get too crazy into this album and start handing out awards and whatnot, I found a really neat interview that he had with Complex Magazine back in 2009 when this mixtape was about to drop, and he literally explained exactly why he named this mixtape So Far Gone. And for us, we're usually trying to find this stuff on, and we can never find really what the reasoning is. But he put it all in a freaking interview, and I guess I'll read it real quick. But this was just Drake talking to Complex about just a discussion he had with one of his friends, and this is on quote. He said, "The whole tape extends from one of my closest friends, Oliver. One night we were discussing women and the way we were talking about them. It was so brazen and so disrespectful. And then he texted me the night after that we got off, and he said, 'Hey man, are we becoming the men that our mothers divorced?' And that's really where the cover from me, or really covers comes from me, for the guy just being a kid and pursuing his love and money. And he's like, at the end of the day, me and my friends are good guys. He's like, I have some real people in my life. And for him to text me that right after we got off the phone really showed that we have a conscience. And he's like, but sometimes you just get too far gone. So you get wrapped up in this shit. He's like, the title has a lot of meanings. He's like, as we carry ourselves, the way we dress, the way the people view us, not to sound cocky, it's just that feelings that we're just distanced way further than other people. He's like, you're just elevating past the bullshit and past all the shit that used to be a part of you, and you're not that proud of. So he's like, you're just so far gone. And I loved it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, that's a really good
pretty
concept.
dope.
And
I like that a lot.
I really like listening to that and like reading it, I should say. I end up watching it, but it's just awesome to see that because he really follows through that entire path the entire time of this mixtape. It's just talking about a young kid getting used to the money and the fame and trying to, to pursue the love and the way he's missing. That's like, it's been Drake's motto his entire career, Taylor Swift's motto, all these people, like, they just want to be in love, all this stuff, and the ones that don't work out, they make great fucking songs on, and they make billions, so it's like, and honestly, they could be making stuff up, but Drake's always been that man. He's always name dropped. Like, he's been with thousands of women through his music, if you really listen to it. Like, how many names have you heard out of there? Oh my goodness, he is cash.
He is cash.
He really is, and
he's funny.
The other thing I really wanted to take time and really talk about this album and really give it its due was, like I said, it was released February 13th of 2009. Wow. And the thing fucking won an MTV award for the hottest mixtape of the year, which a mixtape has never done this ever before. And then on Complex, for their awards, they gave it the number 3 best album of 2009. And then, more importantly, which is crazy to me.
Who were the other two? Like, damn.
I didn't even actually get into it. I should have looked. But the Complex is for it was at least for the decade. It was number 5 best mixtape or album of the decade, and it was the highest. 2009 must have been high. It was the highest. It was the only mixtape that high, dude. Like, it's crazy. And then when it debuts, this album or whatever, this mixtape debuted at number 5 on Billboard's Top 200. And then this is where this gets really out of hand for me, which is just mind-boggling, which I guess not too many people, understand it, but to me it's mind-boggling. This got re-released in 2019 for its 10-year anniversary, like 2 days after the 10-year mark. It was February 15th, technically. Wow. And, it sold 45,000 units in that week. On the 10th, in 2019. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
for sure. It tripled the amount that it sold the first week of when it first came out in 2009. And another little fun part about it too was that in 2009 it was released by OVO Records, like October's very own, which is Drake's own. Yeah. And then in 2019 he wanted to give some love to Lil Wayne and whatnot, so he put it on YMCMB or whatever, the Young Money Cash Money Records. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is
and
sweet.
He sold that much, and it was on Apple Music and everything. So
did you buy it?
No, I have Apple Music, so I guess technically I bought it because I pay $10 a month. But I definitely did not buy this mixtape when it first came out because you don't really buy mixtapes. So I definitely downloaded it illegally and made a CD of it. That's for sure. Oh, you should, for real. But damn, dude, what's one of the songs to you? Like not to give like a award away or anything, but like what's one of the songs to you that kind of really stood out that maybe you've never heard before or it's been forever since you've heard?
Sooner than later, honestly. That was the first time I heard it today.
Yeah, dude, that's definitely not my first time. But I can't lie to you, it's definitely the first time I've listened to it in years. Oh. And I can truly tell you right now, that's one of the songs that I might have been skipping when I was younger because it just didn't settle with me that much. Yeah. And now I'm like, holy fucking shit, that entire song, all 4 minutes and 22 seconds.
Especially right now for me.
And the fact that it's produced by D10, just one of his homies, he's just giving love. It's pretty dope.
I'm giving love.
Yeah, man. I mean, for real. That's the other. Let's be real. Let's have a good conversation about this.
That was mine.
Drake really makes music that just
for the people
relates to everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if even if he's got ghostwriters. I don't want to get into it yet because this was a mixtape early days. I don't want to talk about later on Drake, but just the thing about him has been talking about how he's got ghostwriters and stuff. The fact that he can even lay this on a song and just.
He can put
literally sit with all of us and resonate with all of us, and we all feel like we're in that song or that's us. And it doesn't matter how old you are, dude. I remember listening to this in high school after a little fight with my girlfriend, and when I'm 17, and it's dude, it literally resonates to now, and I'm still
27 years old,
having some whatever issues with whoever, and crying like a little bitch. But it's dude, or even when he honestly, even when he's kind of got that cocky Drake on him, best I ever had and all that stuff, kind of the cockiness that he's got to him. It's still you can kind of feel like a boss that doing that shit. This is me, motherfucker. What? It's truly remarkable. I can't say that about many artists that I truly feel I relate to their music so much. It's crazy.
He would definitely be up there.
I would say Cudi, but Cudi's more of
Just survive.
how you feel by yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
Person. Like it's all mental for him. So here it's like it's emotional. You know, like Drake's always been about the emotions, and he's not afraid to say it on there. And it's dude, it's just so evident. Listen,
It's awesome.
You re-listen to this, and it's 12 years ago. And just to think about all these songs that he's been dropping in 12 years that we all feel like we resonate to or relate to, it's like, holy fuck. It's truly remarkable.
It's powerful.
And I know we're going to talk about this so many times, but it kind of brings up the question, dude. Like, I hate to sound like some two young kids that don't know music or something, but like, I'm not saying Drake's the GOAT of all time, but tell me Drake's not
top 5?
Maybe top 10 artist of all time. I'm talking top 10, all time. And like,
maybe not
top 5. To truly say top 10, and he's not even done. The dude's what, 30 fucking 4 or something?
He's still got some time.
Holy crap, dude.
Still
the consistency, I think people sleep on, man. Like, truly.
The longevity, for sure.
Because, like, one of our own buddies that we were going to have on here that is on more podcasts with us, TB, was dogging this man Drake before this stuff. And it was just like, I didn't even know that people hated Drake. Like, I think people just hate success so much and just are feared by it or something that they just hate it and like say that you sold out or whatever. But dude, this man has been so consistent. Like even the albums he just dropped a 3-parter just this year. There's like a little 3-part little mixtape thing, and 2 of them are absolute flame, and the other one he does good on, but kind of gets pooped on by his features. Which
top 5 of our lifetime though.
Well, yeah.
Top 3? Oh my! This man
Michael
is up
Jackson's
there.
Up there for sure.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake, I would say is up there.
Yeah, he's probably.
Are you dude? You got to think from NSYNC to solo stuff, like just artists. Like
he's definitely higher than Drake.
For consistency, like
but
I'm
the
thinking,
NSYNC days were just wow.
I don't want to say wrong names, but like Eminem was huge.
Oh yeah,
just for rap, just like all these
for
rappers
sure.
are, but like
I'm just saying, like, is he in the top 5 though? Because I feel like for me,
Kanye could be in that.
Cuddy's definitely, but
Cuddy's like a personal thing, but like for the
emotional. I mean, yeah.
Well, no, I think like
for what? Just
like,
art. You said
think
artist.
You and I are like big fans of Cuddy, but I'm thinking like for
most people.
Yeah, for the common folk,
regular
for
people,
music like that would really matter, I guess, for the long term. Because not too many people really like diving into music like that. They just like the hits that are on the radio.
Yeah, for sure.
And Drake's definitely got to be in there.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to poop on anything, but T Swift might be in there just for like the hits and like just the like. There's a lot of people that could, but like Drake's up there. Justin Bieber, yeah, dude, he took some years off, but I don't know. Ed Sheeran's that man, but he's still like the longevity's nowhere close to his Drake.
Yeah,
the only person for real other than these older guys like you said,
Kanye.
No, I'd go Chris Brown. Chris Brown
is some flame.
The consistency is on. We're gonna do Chris Brown.
I was gonna say,
don't even get mixed up.
Sorry,
dude. Drake is really that man. In this mixtape, for him to break barriers and to make so much money off a mixtape like nobody has seen before, and to like really create a career off a mixtape, dude. Like, and that's the other thing, dude. We're in 2021. You don't see mixtapes that much anymore. Now that we got like SoundCloud and all these things that everybody can just release a single, like nobody's making mixtapes. They're only making albums if they're with somebody. But like, we don't get good mixtapes anymore. And Drake is for real in 09. It was starting to get to where it was dying off. Like the early 2000s into the 2010s, whatnot. Like we had the guys out there like Fabulous and Lloyd Banks and all these guys that are really holding it down on the mixtapes. They had some phenomenal mixtapes. But this dude, Drake, and to be a singer and to be an actor, like to be the guy that we all like, they all make fun of, the soft boy and whatnot. Like
he's talented.
Dude is talented, nothing but talented.
He's got talent.
Degrassi, are you joking me? Wow. I guess I could play in a wheelchair. Not trying to knock on wood that I don't get.
Jesus, where's the wood?
He finds it, but no, seriously, like
for sure.
I don't know, man. I just don't want to sound like I'm sucking him off, but dude is fucking mad, fucking talented, and it was one of my key takeaways for real that I'm thinking about in this album. Like,
I wrote talent at the top of this page of my notes.
So you look at it, underline. Seriously,
the guy man has talent.
It's unreal.
It's undeniable.
All right, so give me another one of your key takeaways, just from anything. It could be good, it could be negative. Like I got a couple here that
negative. I don't want to.
Well, because I don't want to I guess we have to nitpick a little bit just for some of our awards, but like I just wasn't sure if you got any negative. You can like whatever key takeaway you got.
I don't have much. It's Flame, and there's not a lot of misses. There's not a lot of skips. Like literally, I think because I was trying to listen to it twice, and like I was like kept trying to listen back because it was so tough to like decipher which ones were better than like I had trouble trying to I know the top 5. I didn't want to give away my top 5, but even getting to 5 because they're all
tough,
like
dude. There's like 7.
they're all so
they all got their own special things about them,
and they're all really good. So it was tough for me.
Here's one question before I don't want to get too crazy into it because we're about to give out these awards and I'm gonna go more into it. Yeah. But I will say the one takeaway that I had that I was a little upset with from what I remembered on this album was I wasn't very impressed with many of the features. I thought Drake would kill a song, and then
that's true.
Whenever the feature came on, I was like, and I don't know if that's just like Drake's just being that man, or just times past with music that I used to like them in that time, but like this entire Drake mixtape, like I think the only other takeaway that I might have had that was any different with the Drake aspect of it was you almost forget how slow it was. Like he had like really slow cadence on a lot of things. Like the beats are uplift, but he's really slow still, and there's nothing wrong with it. I love it. He's like he's slow. Drake, slow Drake is that man. Gets real as fuck. Like I love it, but it was almost like because now he's like upbeat. He's really evolved in music. He knows how to make shit sound longer and whatnot. And that was the one thing. It was a tad slow. So like if you're not somebody that likes to be that emotional, then maybe you might not like it. But like they say, don't Drake and drive. If that's the case, then. But shit, dude. Let's dive into these fucking awards. And we're actually, before we get to these awards real quick, let me get this out of the way. Let's get some sample credits out of the way.
The worst part of the show.
Which could be. But for a mixtape, you got to think mixtapes are all built off of samples. So,
I know.
Be ready. This is a longer list.
Oh, no.
So, very first song, Lust for Life, is actually sampled a little bit of Ideas of Opiates by Tears for Fears, which I thought was pretty interesting just because I didn't know he would even be a Tears for Fears guy. And then song number 4, Let's Call It Off, like I said before, was literally sampled by Let's Call It Off by Bjorn and John, who at least he kept on the song. And then November 18th was a sample by Criss Cross by a song called The Streets Ain't Right.
Jesus.
Which I can't lie to you, I don't think I've ever listened to it, but
no.
I know who Criss Cross is. That's for freaking sure. And then one little cool one that I actually kind of enjoyed was the Ignorant Shit. Was sampled by Ignorant Shit by Jay-Z and Beanie Sneak. So I kind of liked it. It was a cool little word on play. But
I thought you made that name up.
No.
Benny Schneagle.
Oh, you thought never knew?
Oh, Benny Sneagle. Say that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, he's a real rapper. God. I just think he's hilarious. I think it's a funny ass name. Well, now you know. But and then Say What's Real is, I like this one as well. It was actually produced by Kanye West, but Kanye sampled that song "Say You Will" by his own album, like when he was on the album 808s and Heartbreak. So "Say What's Real" was sampled by "Say You Will" by Kanye. So that was neat. I said it before, a little bit with Likey Lee was literally sampled by a little bit by Likey Lee. Best I Ever Had was sampled by "Fall in Love Again" by Nakia Coleman, who I've never even heard the song. So that was a pretty good jam. Unstoppable might be the most clear one, just because Unstoppable by Sandy Gold was pretty big when it was out, so he just literally hopped on and just gave him a little whatever.
Give it a little flavor.
Here's one that you and I would love, and our parents might love it. Uptown. Was Uptown Girl by Billy Joel.
Stop it.
Yeah, that's why I was a big fan. And then Bria's interlude was Friendly Skies by Missy Elliott.
Wow.
The outro is from The Tourist by Chili Gonzalez, which I've never even heard of it, but shout out to Chili Gonzalez. And then Congratulations, of course, which is a bonus track, which is number 18, is Viva La Vida by Coldplay, which is also pretty
what are you gonna do? It's a mixtape.
I love it. He kills it. Yeah. He like that, honestly, for a bonus song, because you can never ask a lot out of a bonus song, but that bonus track is pretty good. I'm a big fan. So dude, yeah, let's finally dive into this. Let's get into our awards. The Relistenables Awards.
Oh, my goodness.
Brought to you again by the Intrigue Podcast Network. Just so you guys know, we have quite a bit. And before, I'll let you pick the first one, but just remember to say the name award and then what the award technically is, just for people.
Okay.
If they listen.
I'm gonna go with one of my favorites. I'm gonna go with the Jamal Crawford Award, and that's the award that not necessarily in your top 5, but he's coming off the bench and he's lighting it up.
It's technically the 6-man year award because he's got the most. He's tied with Lou Will, but
wow.
Yeah,
and I went with Unstoppable just because I feel like it's not the number 1 song that I'm playing every time, but if I hear it, it's coming in and getting buckets. Yeah, I feel like it's the vibe that I want off of this, so that would be my award winner.
I like it, the 6-man of the year Jamal Crawford Award. I like it. I had 2, and now that I look, and I really had to guess, I'm gonna give it to Houston, Atlanta, Vegas over Say What's Real. Say What's Real was phenomenal on the beat, and just his verse that he comes in with is just fire. But Houston, Atlanta, Vegas is such a chill song, and the wittiness of the fucking name, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Like I just think it's phenomenal. Like honestly, I don't know if that's just being a little kid of me that was. In 09, Jesus, when I was 16, this shit's flying. I liked it all. But, yeah, I'm going to go with that one just because it didn't get in my top 5, but it literally might be number 6 of my favorite.
Yeah, I like that.
And honestly, I gave it the nod just because of the name over Say What's Real. So,
I like that.
Let me get this one out of the way just because I'll get the hate out of the way for this album. Because I try to stay positive. I love this mixtape. I love it all. But we came up with a really cool award that I'm a personal fan of, which was the Jackson 4 Award. And this one necessarily is more like the song or the part of the mixtape that you can do without. Like, guess what? It's still going to be motherfucking Michael Jackson. He didn't need the 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, without them, Michael Jackson's still the shit. Drake's still the shit for this mixtape.
Without the song.
And I hate to fucking say it. I hate to say it, but my key takeaway from this entire album is how trash 2009 Lil Wayne was. I was just gonna say this man is featured 4 times the most out of anybody on this album,
and they're just
and he poops on all of them. Like he's got the mix of the auto-tune Wayne, which made me hate him, and he was so popular and so good for so long that he had to mix up his sound. I get it, but this was like really close to rock Wayne. Like I'm rocking out whatever that poop album was. But I forgot how much I disliked Wayne back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Like I'm talking hate, like haterade is what I'm drinking, and I hated Lil Wayne. Like re-listening to this mixtape, like I know Lil Wayne was so key for Drake in his career, so I'll never say that Lil Wayne wasn't good for Drake. But Drake sung this man on this album. Said, dude, hey, I'm coming in flame. Like, dude, your song that you said you like so much, Unstoppable.
Yeah,
dude, I only like the first half of the damn song. Because Lil Wayne sucks that fucking bad on that album and that song. Like, terrible. And then no offense to Sandy Gold, but I don't like the way you sound, girl. It's up, down. I like the chorus. Like, I like the hook or whatever, but I don't like
That's really all I was doing.
And, dude, like, I literally, for the re-listenable metric that we're going to do, I'm just going to, like, give it a little sneak peek now. I gave it a half a star because Drake kills Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Not to poop on your stuff. If you love that song, that's you. Because this is just a personal way we feel.
Yeah.
But Unstoppable was... Oh my god, terrible. Poop. Like,
okay.
Successful, Wayne kind of pooped on it. Trey Songz was amazing. Ignorant shit, Wayne pooped all over it.
Damn. All
right. I'm sorry. And then Uptown, he poops all over it. Bun B's even like, but Wayne's like, oh my god, switch.
Get him off of there.
And then Unstoppable, like we said. Poop. Unless you like it, but I'm not trying to poop on it.
No,
that was my Jackson forward because I didn't.
Good.
I had a couple songs that I could have picked. If we're going with songs,
so what song is it?
I would pick either November 18 or Let's Call It Off. Just for me personally, I'm just not a fan of them. But I had to go with I truly had to give it to Lil Wayne. I thought he was so terrible on this mixtape. Not to hate because I do like Wayne, but this wasn't a Wayne for me that was
definitely wasn't his best.
Because I don't know, did you hear the auto-tune in this man's voice so much in this album? He was like
ignorant shit. I was like,
and he was almost like half-assing it almost. It was like I think he was. I hate to go too much into it on this award because they told me not to, but I really think Wayne at this time knew Drake was about to be the man. It was kind of like, oh my god, I'm at like a stale point in my career. Maybe I still want to get him up because I know I'm gonna make money off him, like giving him the wing and whatnot.
But I don't want to give him.
But I don't want to give him good fucking verses. Like
I'm gonna poop on his song.
So that's just me. Honestly,
no, I like it.
I'm gonna put my pants down on this mixtape for him. I'm gonna give him the greatest connects ever. I'm gonna get him on our stuff, but I'm just not ready to give him that mixtape yet because I don't want him to pass me. So because it ended up eventually happening, but in my opinion, but
smart. I like it.
Let me hear your Jackson 4 award.
This is what I did. I wrote Little Bit, then I crossed it out, then I wrote November 18th, then I put a slash mark, then I said, yeah, Little Bit's got to go on here too.
Yeah, it's a tough listen. If
I
think even for slow Drake, that's a really like. So for people that don't know or are not familiar with Like You Lee, she's like a really big like alternative like Japanese lady or artist who
she's a nice
I'm
lady.
sorry, she's an artist.
She's a nice
but you know what I'm saying. But she's just got that sound. It's just super like high pitched. She's got always like really really slow like depressing rainy day beats, and I think Drake likes getting to those, which he's really good at.
He's good at it.
He did good on that song, but it was just like, I feel you. I agree.
November 18th was definitely mine. Would have been up there.
Yeah, I thought. So this comes up to another good point real quick as you say that, because Drake's known to like really do these things later on in his career where he'll just drop a date like September 12th or something, whatever, December, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like he does it or like a place. Yeah. And all of them are usually fucking flame.
9 p.m.
in November 8th. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah,
garbage like that.
9 p.m. and whatever. All those are fucking flame. Like
they are usually
they're phenomenal. And for the November 18th, I thought before I was ever gonna re-listen to it, I saw the name on the list, and I'm like, I think that's Flame. I remember that's Flame. And then I'm listening, to it, I'm like, ugh, ugh. So I agree. That's why I said it might have been the award. So, all right, give me your next award for you.
I'm gonna go with the J-Lo award, and I think that is the one that just gets better with age. I feel like it was kind of hot.
Herself.
Yeah, like J-Lo.
Like she was bad back in the day, but like for 50, you even better. Like what?
And I went with Successful.
Ooh.
Just because I feel like I'm never gonna go wrong with Successful. I'm never gonna go wrong with J-Lo. Whenever 2009, that was kind of a jam, and then I listened to it today. I was like, damn. Even though Wayne does poop on it, what you said, but
it's such a phenomenal song.
I liked it.
It's phenomenal. The way you just described it should be my reward now that I think about it.
But I described it wrong.
I kind of no. You described it perfect because I honestly kind of forgot that J-Lo was so bad in her prime time that she just stayed bad. Like that was the whole thing. I just kind of was like, oh, she just got better with age. Was the way I was looking at it, but I fucked up. But no, the way that I like for me personally, I went with Sooner Than Later. Just because it's like, dude, like I said when we talked about the song, I didn't really like listen to it like that when I was little, like, or I shouldn't say little, but 12 years ago, yeah, you're little, so it's like 12 years ago when this first came out, when I first heard it, when it first hit my ears and blessed me, it just didn't resonate with me. You know what I'm saying? It was just in my time of my life where I'm a little fucking 16-year-old chasing whatever, you know, like that wasn't a song that resonated with me. And then now that I feel like a grown ass man and whatnot, that song was one of those ones that hit your ear and you're like, holy fucking shit. Was one of my key takeaways.
Jimmy Jam.
How good Sooner Than Later was. Like, wow.
That's really fucking good. I'm with you.
But yeah, I agree. That's you can never. This is the other thing too. You can never go wrong with pretty much any of these awards to any song.
Oh yeah.
But it's just personal. It's just like it's just your reference, your opinion. So that's why we like to like bounce off each other.
I like it.
So we just picked the J-Lo. Let me go with. Let's get the hard one out of the way.
Oh, no.
Let's go with the Dr. Dre award, which would be for the best beat.
Here you go.
And dude, usually this is me. Usually I'm picking the beat that's usually like the hardest. That's got me like, wow, my head's bumping. Like like they kind of go the hardest on. Mm-hmm. Which originally for me was either gonna be The Calm or Say What's Real, because he just kind of. But then I'm listening to it again, and one of my favorite songs. Not even a song, but one of my favorite sounds of all time. For real, I'm not even joking. This has been a song that I'll listen to on the rainiest of days or whatever. Like my favorite piano sound of all time was Outro. Here on here, the 16th song, which it's called Outro, but it's just pure piano.
Gotta appreciate a piano,
dude. A piano gets me off, and it after we heard it again, I literally I wrote it down behind the calm and literally circled it like 45 times because. for me, that's be the beat of the ever maybe of Drake. Like that, for some reason, it just hits my ear perfect. I don't know what it is. It's just a beautiful piano for about 2 minutes, and
I can't be mad at that. That's good.
it gets me. And okay, so real quick before you give yours, I just kind of something funny here.
Mm-hmm.
This album, for some reason, has nothing to do with this, but it reminds me of it for two reasons. It reminds me of Twilight for some reason every time I the movie, and the only reason is because Likey Lee has a really good song in one of the Twilight movies. Which anytime I hear Likey Lee, I'm like, oh my god, like that's either Drake or it's Twilight. And then, which was the outro, the piano play, like the piano verse or whatever. The only other piano I've ever heard that was like, I shouldn't say ever, but the other piano thing that always like sticks with me is like on the second half of the first movie Twilight, Edward plays a piano for whatever her name is, and it's just it's flame. But yeah, not to bring Twilight into not to bring Twilight into the Relistenables, but it just gave me the just reminds me of it just with the piano. But all right, Dr. Dre award for you. Let's hear it.
I went with just because like the beat that I would like. I went with Brand New just because it's kind of a head thumper.
Yeah, but it really does be going.
It was
for as slow as the song is. The beats are hard. You know what I'm saying? Like
there were a lot of beats that I liked.
That's always been Drake.
Definitely was like
really
okay, I can
slow
vibe to
hard ass.
pretty much anything.
Yeah, I really like that pick actually, because that song is one of those ones that is really really slow, but the beat is phenomenal. Yeah. Like, I really agree. All right, so you can pick the next one.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Let me mark 5 just to make sure I know that we got them out of the way. Bam, bam. All right, yeah, we're good.
Do I want to save? Ooh, okay, I'm gonna go with the Jamie Foxx Award, and I feel like that's the Jamie Foxx Award is the song that can do whatever. It's versatile. It's gonna do whatever you need it to do at the highest level. Is how I would explain it. Steve probably has a different description, but that's my fried description. Yeah. And I went with "Say What's Real" / after listening to it, because that was the first time I wrote a / and then I wrote the calm. But "Say What's Real" was my
if you're picking a song, "Say What's Real" is easily that song. I would say I shouldn't say easily because Best I Ever Had, he kind of sings, he does it all. But
I gave it to another. I didn't want to get Best I Ever Had
could get every award. It made Drake, if we're being real. So, but "Say What's Real," I agree. Produced by Kanye, like we said, and I didn't even know that by the first time I heard it.
I did not either.
And now that I've done the research. For me, the Jamie Foxx Award, which is so crazy that this would be an award, like, because we talk about it all the time. Like, Jamie Foxx originally was known for his comedian work, his comedy work, and his acting, and then you realize this man can fucking sing. And then anytime you see him anywhere, like on a sports channel or talking about whatever on First Take, or
he's really good,
or he's literally like talking about a game, he's being a fucking broadcaster on a game, or literally anything. Host a TV show, anything. Most versatile
talent.
And the honest answer that I had to go with, but it's not. It's like almost too
easy.
It's Drake himself. Drake is literally the most versatile artist that we have probably right now, other than Jamie Foxx,
right? Or
other than like another one. LL Cool J is another one, because that's the other thing was one of my takeaways that I forgot about. No, it was either the Jamie Foxx or LL Cool J, but I remember the reason that I wanted to talk about. I just forgot about it, but now that I'm happy we brought that up, was when I was first listening to this mixtape. It was so heavy on the LL Cool J vibes. I know a lot of people probably haven't listened to LL Cool J because he was like right before we were born.
Nope.
And I know, but like, dude, he was that man. Could sing, could rap, could do it all. And like, pretty boy like Drake thinks he is. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. Sure. You could tell that he really takes a lot of inspiration from LL Cool J. But yeah, I went with Drake just because personally he's, like we said, he's the most versatile man we were talking about earlier. But yeah, I would completely agree with you. Say What's Real is the song that you would pick. So let's go. I agree. Good fucking pick.
Thanks.
It's rare that we actually like have like almost the same award because there's so many like options.
Yeah, for sure.
And if we probably did the same award tomorrow or an hour from now, they'd probably
be
different. But all right, let me get. Let's get the one out of the way that might be the most confusing to people, but for us, it's kind of I wouldn't say funnest, but it is pretty fun.
Yeah.
The LeBron James Award, which for us, when I originally thought of this award, when I was talking to Shane about it, I said the LBJ MVP award. We gotta do it, dude. It's that one where like arguably LeBron probably has won the MVP the last 12 years. Kobe probably won it a couple times before that, and then Michael Jordan won it all those years. But they maybe not have actually got the MVP because the voters want to give it to a new face or something. But the true GOAT, the true fucking GOAT on that basketball court, whatever is, or in the league or the mixtape, whatever way you want to look at it, is LeBron fucking James for I don't know how long. And I'm not even a LeBron lover, and I would even say that man's deserved I don't know how many. But this is the one I had to go basic as fuck, and I had to do it just because it made Drake who he is best I ever had. I had to. You know what I'm saying? Like, just for me personally, I had to.
Can you read upside down?
The same one, yeah. But it honestly has to. It's almost one of the only like given.
You got
like,
to.
Yeah. It's so It's the first single that got released from this album. The only two is that and Successful, which are bangers. But best I ever had, just like. I remember, because this mixtape, I remember people didn't listen to mixtapes or full albums when we were younger. It was all about what song was hot. And I really remember Best I Ever Had being, like, that top song, or at least at the schools I was going to, like, bro, like, the top song for at least that year. Like, that shit was a banger. That was everywhere. On the radio.
It was fine.
Because we both played sports growing up, so, like, especially in those times when we were in middle school, about to be in high school, it was high school shit. Mm-hmm. Like, the pregame warm-ups, you always, like, for basketball, that song was in everybody's mixtape before that season.
Just playing.
Like, dude, oh my God, that song was everywhere. Like, truly it was everywhere, in my opinion. But
absolutely.
Alrighty, so then we'll keep the most re-listenable for the last.
I like
if
that
makes sense. But you can pick. I think we only got two. Yeah. I'll let you pick.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Scottie Pippen Award, and isn't that the award for best feature?
Yep, best feature. Best two man.
And
which could have been the D Wade Award, but I went with Scottie Pippen just because he really deserves it.
But I like that 6 chips.
Yeah, D Wade's my guy, but it is Scottie. It's Scottie. Best award.
I was gonna
best feature.
I didn't know I was tied between Trey Songz and Lloyd, and I went with Lloyd to end the night off.
Wow, I love it.
But that's just me.
You want to know something crazy? I already said it. We already talked about it. It was one of my takeaways. It was part of my Jackson 4 award. Was especially with Lil Wayne, but take Lil Wayne aside because you guys know I think he's poop. The features were so bad, in my opinion. Like, I didn't like many of them. And I feel cheesy for giving this to you, or for saying it because like you didn't get to like. I guess you wouldn't know as much.
I'm here.
But I went with Producer 40, which Noah Shabib. That's been Drake's guy forever. It's literally his best friend. Like, there's a lot about it. But the reason I went with it is, let me break this down real quick. I'll give you the song that I picked too, or the person I mean. But the reason I went with Producer 40 is because he literally, like I said in the beginning, the first 3 songs hit you so amazing. And guess what? He produces the first 3. And then the album takes 3 hits in a row for me where I'm passing on them. And they're all produced by 3 different guys. And like, all right, so listen to the rest of the songs that 40 produces. Not many more, but A Night Off, like you said, the one that you just picked for Lloyd.
Yep.
And then he does Bria's Interlude with Omarion, which I was a big fan of. Yeah. And then The Calm. And then he does Congratulations at the end. So like every song that he does, absolute flame. Doesn't get a thing for me. So I would say him because this was a start to something real special. But if we had to go for the mixtape and for the like actual like feature on a song, I picked Omarion on Bria's Interlude because I told you that's my jam.
You did
but
like that song.
Lloyd was up there too. Lloyd was second. But it's crazy how we pick singers. Like, I wish Drake could be his own feature, like, he does. Like, he's literally, like, one of the first guys that does his own features where, I'm rapping and I'm singing. Like, I don't need other people. Like, he would get that award on this mixtape.
2 for 1.
Because I promise you the rest of the albums that we do with Drake, there are so many really, really good features that there's no way that we're picking a singer or a producer. For sure. But, yeah, I'll go with 40 or Omarion, and you pick Lloyd, so I like it. They get for sure. They get the best feature, and if we're talking out of our fucking ass and there's no good rapper or anything on there, you guys let us know because Bun B's on there twice, poop. Trey Songz maybe could have got it if Successful wasn't so hot. Yeah, like, I wanted to like switch it up. Successful, if it wasn't a song that I've listened to literally ever since then, I probably listen to it once a month. Especially the remix with Andre 3000. I wish that was on this because it would have won everything. But Yeah, that's my shit.
I
And
like
then
it.
and then that leaves us with one of my favorite awards because I just mentioned the guy Andre 3000 himself. But this is for me best line, best verse because in my opinion, even though Andre 3000 doesn't have many songs or whatnot, that like Outcast, all that stuff, like the dude might be the best feature of all time.
He's a
Maybe
good
the most
feature.
witty. Maybe has like some of the greatest verses of all time if you really go look at him and listen to him.
Break them down.
So I gave you two.
Let's see.
I'll start off with my favorite line because it's either your best line or your best verse.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite line, which I think is pretty fucking easy for you to know, is I belong right where you see me. I ain't on the fence about it. I ain't Mr. Feeney. Like, shouts out to Boy Meets World. That I say Mr. Feeney on a daily basis. Like, she grabbed my weenie.
Oh.
She called me Mr. Feeney. You know what I'm saying? It's a funny shit. So, and then my favorite verse,
I'm on the fence.
which I will say, is the last minute 45 of the second verse of Sooner Than Later, where he just like it's that first kind of like intro to Drake where on every outro he ever does in the rest of these albums you'll like hear where he gives you a really nice beat and he just almost talks over it, but it's almost so fucking nasty, it's almost like bars. And that was like kind of our first intro to that, and that's where I was like, dude, this is just gold. Like that entire song is amazing, but that last minute 45, that last verse that he does is fucking phenomenal.
Really good.
So, but let's hear what you were thinking when it.
I kind of went with this because this was kind of back in the day. It went with Hardly Home, but always repping with Uptown, and it was just kind of corny, just because I would always like say that when I'm up at like Cleveland or something and wearing like a Maslin shirt, like Hardly Home, but always like.
Great, it's a great Instagram caption.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, for real, it is
Corny. I used it maybe 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times a day.
Fuck you. But that was my.
All right, the other one for me that I did write down, but it was more for me to make fun of myself, was when I was younger, when this first came out, at the end of The Calm, when he says, don't ask permission, ask forgiveness. He's like, 40 Mom always said, don't ask forgiveness, or don't ask permission, ask forgiveness. Like, I always thought, like, that was, like, words to die for when I was younger. I was like, oh, those are words to live by. Oh my God, they're dope. Like, but it is dope. But I do like it because fuck permission, but fuck forgiveness at the same time. If you forgive yourself, fuck them. But that's just me. I remember that line being the shit when I was younger. And then
your frame makes me want to bowl a strike.
Ooh,
wow,
girl. That's pretty good.
I was just writing some dumb shit.
He has so many like witty one-liners, but they're almost like too cheesy.
Yeah,
because this was Flame back in 2009, but it's like that's young Drake. It's like I don't know. It's funny to listen to like college rap. But all right, to go into the most re-listenable, which is our favorite. Like originally, it was called the Dr. J, my bad, not Dr. J. I'm fucking fried. The Bill Russell Finals MVP award because he has the most Finals MVPs, and it's like the ultimate. It would almost be like that LeBron James if he wins the. It's just that it's the guy who's like, all right, I didn't give a fuck about that regular season MVP. When it came to the playoffs, I carried this fucking shit, and the finals, mine. So, which we're gonna call it the most re-listenable song on the entire album or mixtape for this scenario, and it's not. Dog, I don't even know. It's not my number one song.
Me neither.
I'll be honest with you.
It's my number 2.
That's on it. Me too. Let's hear it.
Sooner Than Later.
Wow, we literally flip flopped. I bet you. I went with you went with Sooner Than Later. Wow,
that's my number 2.
It is a phenomenal song. The only reason I gave it to Successful, which was mine. Well, the only reason I gave it to it is because I have to be real with myself. It's probably the song on this album I've listened to the most. Ever.
That's funny.
Which is phenomenal because Trey Songz kills it. Drake has like 2 or 3 verses on that song that are just phenomenal, and like Lil Wayne's enough that you could like, all right, the last 50 seconds, I'll let him poop all over this song. But it was either that, or I'm a huge fan of The Calm. I've always liked it. I don't know why.
I like it too.
I call this shit The Calm. I'm the furthest thing from calm.
Ooh,
I love it. I love it, but yeah, I for realistically for myself, I had to say Successful because I bet you that song, you know that playlist that I have that's on my Apple Music. That's the top 25 most played of all time.
It's on there.
I guarantee you it's top 10. Shit, let me look right now. Look at my phone.
That's 7 for sure.
I'm gonna look at my phone right now. But so which was your Sooner Than Later?
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Was my most re-listenable, and I've heard it for the first time today.
Wow. Yeah, that's funny.
I was like,
it felt like the first time
I'm gonna play
today,
this,
but I've heard it, but
it,
like just the words were just gorgeous. I mean,
for
I
me,
loved it all.
for me, right now, yeah, that shit's fire.
It just goes perfect in your life. And all right, so that wraps up our awards. And real quick before we get into our top fives to end this, I don't know if you have anything else to say, but one thing that I didn't know if you caught or not,
I didn't,
but it's a quick shout out that I had to make, was a young Chris Paul in 2009 is on this at the end of one of the songs and the outros, and he fucking like literally calls it. It's a phone call. It calls into Drake like, "Hey man, always represent for you, dude." Like literally, it's just it's a young shout out from Chris Paul, from the Hornets or whatever. He was still on it. And it was pretty phenomenal. I listened to it today, and I was like, dude, I remember this, but I forgot Chris Paul was on it. So shout out to CP3. You'll hear if you listen to this entire mixtape, you will hear him. I'm sorry I did not write it down or which one it was at, but I'm pretty sure it's at the end of Ignorant Shit that goes into the night off.
That's why, because I didn't finish that song.
Yeah, exactly.
Pooped on
I flipped it. Fuck that song. But yeah, that was my last little. I think that I haven't said that was my last little. Other than Poop Wayne, because I wrote down Poop Wayne.
God, you are just. You can't do a Lil Wayne album anytime soon.
Lil Wayne albums can happen, but it's got to be the first 3 Carters or The Block Is High. He's had some phenomenal mixtapes. I can't say.
Carter 2?
I like the
Or
Carter.
the 3?
Carter 3 was fine. Carter 4 was even not bad. But, but alrighty. And then let's get into our top 5 to wrap this up. We'll start at number 5. I'll let you go. You go first with your number 5 song. Because remember, guys, don't get pissed at these top 5s. They're just personal favorites.
I went with Say What's Real at number 5. And it was close. I honestly had the Calm at number 6, if I wanted to say. Unstoppable for me was just because the vibe was at 7. But, I mean, I didn't write them down. But Say What's Real at 5 to end it off.
Say What's Real just missed my top 5. Like 6 and 7 could be flopped out, like I said when we gave the awards. Yeah. So it's between Houston and Vegas and Say What's Real. But
I like that.
Number 5, which I went with, I had to because it's just my like 5th favorite song. Even though I know it's way more like meaningful for Drake, it should be higher. But for me personally, I had to throw it in the top 5. It might have not got thrown in. Just saying, but I had to just because it's so prestigious. But best I ever had, I went with number 5, just because I was like, dude, it's a phenomenal song, but it's almost like a radio hit. I'm more of like. Let me hear the lyrics, dog.
For sure.
So that went number 5, and then number 4, I'll go with my first because you can just go to 3 after. Well, like after you hit 4, you go. But number 4 for me, which was I went with the Calm, just because I'm a real big fan of that.
Yeah.
So it could have been swapped with number 3 easily. Those 2 songs that I'm about to mention are really close, but yeah, the Calm got my number 4 spot.
I like that. I went with Houston, Vegas at my number 4 spot. And it was tough. Yeah, I thought so. I was like, either that one, or, again, Lust for Life, I feel like was big for me. But yeah, that's my number 4. He's still in Vegas.
All right. And going to number 3, you can take it on.
All right. Well, my number 3, I went with, just because of its prestige, I went with Best I Ever Had. Okay. Just because I didn't want to put it at 1, but I mean, it is the most, I feel like it's the most popular one.
Yeah. 100%.
Or in my, like,
100%.
Just like, popularity.
It should be top 3 for sure, but I don't know why I pooped on it.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm pooping on Wayne, but yeah, no, I completely agree. I like where you had it. I should have put it at 3, but personally, for me, number 3 was Lust for Life. Honestly,
wow, I like that a lot.
I love that song.
I wanted it to crack my top 5. I really did.
I got plans.
I liked it a lot.
They trying to shoot down my flight.
Yeah.
Before it lands. Ooh! That was another line that I used to love when I was younger. Even though I'm never on a flight and I was never getting shot at. So, like, why do I think I'm gangster? I don't know. But, then it goes into number 2 for me. I went with Successful, dude.
Wow.
If I'm being, like I said, if I'm being real, it's the song I've played the most.
Yeah.
Easily. Song I played the most. But I went with number 2, Successful. So let me hear your 2.
I went with Successful as well.
Ooh, we both got one match on Successful. Okay.
What's your number 1 though?
Sooner Than Later.
Oh my god.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
The top 2, bro. All right, good. So like,
Sooner Than Later was bombing. This is the first time I've ever heard of this fucking
when I first came into this mixtape, and like we've said before, and it's gonna be a recurring theme so much on these podcasts, as many as we do and as many as we've done, seems to be a thing that's like there's a top like list. Like usually, if it's a shorter album, we'll do top 3. But like on the longer ones, there's usually like a top 6, top 7, top 8 that can be flipped anywhere. And then if we have our top 3s, it's like that top 6 can be flipped anywhere. So like some are getting killed, some are getting mixed out. But like I didn't expect to have those, or at least Sooner Than Later number 1.
Sooner Than Later was big for me.
Such a good.
I literally
fucking
listened to it.
song.
I was like, wow.
Dude, I think that one
This
could
is
be
one of-
released right now on a Drake album, and it'll get
lot of-
more love than it's ever
Right.
ever. 'Cause that's like a lost song by
I
Drake.
really haven't heard it till today. I was like, what
Jesus,
the fuck?
dude. What a phenomenal fucking mixtape. Like we said, dude, 73 minutes long.
Filthy.
Real quick, you got I'll do my calculator real quick. So we started this new thing here
Oh,
at
shit.
Relistenables. Just to end it off, we're gonna start leaving a Relistenables track or a list, like kind of like or I should say rank. My bad. Of we're just kind of break down the album. We go through. We pick the amount of songs. They say for this instance, there's 18 songs on here. And then we pick how many songs that we like, and if we can skip, we pick the songs that we can skip, and the amount of songs that we like out of the entire album, we add those up, and then we divide them by what it was, and then that's our percentage that we got with them. So, how many songs for you did you have on there that were like that you want to keep, or like what was your ratio out of 18? How many did you love,
How many did I love?
or like how many were you like now? You know what I'm saying? Like
How many?
how many are you like this? This is the whole thing. How many are you re-listening to? It's exactly what I should say. Because it's the
Okay, let me
Relistenables.
count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would go with 7.
7 out of the 18 that you would re-listen to, or 11 out of it, or what do you mean 7 you'd skip?
Well, like, oh, okay. I'm talking about like that were like bangers, like that I would put on my playlist. Never mind. I'm sorry. I probably listened to like 15 of them.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly. I'm at 14 and a half
Okay.
because of my
Lil Wayne taking off Lil Wayne's 30 seconds.
Unstoppable. Yeah, so we have it. You
You're
have it at
hilarious.
an 83.33%. So whatever, that's what we got, and then mine would technically be 14 and a half out of 18. Be 80.5%. So we got an 80.5% re-listening ratio for us. He's got 83, I got 80, which we'd round up to 81 and 83. So I think that's not fucking bad at all. It's like this is the other terrible thing is like if you asked me,
So we're giving that an 81% re-listenable.
yeah, I guess we'd meet in a half, 81 and a half, 82.
Oh, wait.
We'll go 82. We'll go 82 right in the middle. 82% re-listenable.
Wow.
So I think that like sound if those for you that think it sounds bad, I think that's actually pretty fucking solid.
It's the first. I
And-
mean, it's definitely the first time we've done it, but I feel
So-
like 82 is pretty high.
Yeah, for real, it's pretty
My
damn
opinion.
good. I'll be honest with you.
For 18 songs off his first mix or one of his first things.
Literally his first mixtape.
Pretty fucking good.
82% of that mixtape is re-listenable. Wow.
Pretty good.
That's pretty damn good. And if you had to really, we could just stick to 83% if we really had to. Because I'm listening to the first half of Unstoppable all day of the week, but like I said, fuck you,
So
Wayne.
I'm
That's the
pooping
biggest
on
takeaway.
it.
F you, Wayne. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, dude, it's been a great fucking podcast. Got me
Wow.
mad excited. We
Wow.
back with the Relistenables.
We back. Oh my god,
This
we're
might
back.
this might be the most consistent podcast that we do other than golf. I
This
don't
would
even
be
know.
this would be pretty exciting one. I like
This is
one.
this is my pride and joy. If I
This is my
Um,
baby.
As always, Shane Shertzer
Yes,
with me.
sir.
Stephen Moustaris here.
Let's get it.
The Relistenables.
I'm excited.
Bro, I think it's episode 8. We did phenomenal. I love it, guys. Like, thank you so much. And again, brought to you by the Intrigue Podcast Network. Whoop!